Hello and welcome to My Retired Life. This video is about 7 things that snowbirds need to know before they start driving back home to Canada. And the last one is probably the most important. The winter is over in Canada and we are looking to go back. So we leave very shortly. It's the beginning of spring in Canada and now most of us snowbirds are heading home. So the very first thing you have to do is prepare for the weather. As we all know, you can get snow in Canada in May and June. It's happened in June once or twice that I've been alive. So when you're going back and you're planning your routes, check the weather out. Try and drive around the inclement weather. We avoid the weather like the plague, right? Always know if there's snowing, if it's going to be raining. It could rain there 2 days before you get there. Know that that'll be gone by the time you get to the destination as you're traveling, right? Just beware of the weather because that will slow you down or even put you in an accident. There's black ice involved there in some cases, so beware of the weather. That's number 1. Number 2, driver fatigue. If you're driving and you get tired, either switch passengers to drive and have a nap or get off the road for the day. If you're by yourself, get off the road or take a nap, pull over at a rest stop. They're there for a reason. People get tired driving. We used to take 3 days to come down to Arizona from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now that's 32 hours in 3 days. That's a lot of heavy driving, 12, and 10. We have slowed down. We've slowed down to 4 days, 4 8-hour days. And if it takes that long or we get tired in that period of time now, we'll take 5 days. We don't care. It doesn't matter to us when we get down here. So allot that. Some Canadians have to be back by a certain date for health insurance reasons. Like we have to be back by the 15th, so we're leaving 4 days ahead of time, right? So you got to really plan for tiredness. As you get older, those long days are harder and harder to do. You get there quicker, but what's one extra day on the road? Which brings me to point 3, where you stay. Scope out where you're going to stay. Let's say you're planning 8, like I am, 4 days to get back to Canada. Figure out where 7 to 9 hours is on your first day. Second day, plan where you're going to land it. And I'll give you a story about that. We went through Albuquerque a couple of times. And when we were coming down, there's a series of hotel chains on the east side of Albuquerque. And we used to stay there all the time. All the time. However, it is now like a homeless encampment. And we came down the last time, we swore we'll never go to the east side of Albuquerque because there's just too many vagrants there. 3 o'clock in the morning, they're banging on your windows. Car alarms are going off. So try to avoid those stations or those hotel areas. And if you do go to a hotel, at least go to a well-lit one and maybe some that have security there. Number 4, construction season. That will slow you down some. It is spring and most of the northern climates, northern half of the United States, they're getting back onto the construction scene and there will be detours. So if you can scope that out ahead of time, you'll save yourself a lot of time and a lot of aggravation and a lot of stopping and going. If you have to get off the main thoroughfare of the interstate, then go off to a state road instead to go around that. Again, do your research. Google Maps is pretty good with that. Number 5, border crossing. This is true now more than ever with all the tariffs and everything that's going on in between Canada and the United States or anywhere destination that you're traveling. Border security is going to be a little bit more stringent, a little bit more thorough in investigating people. So be prepared at the border to be slowed down a little bit. Now, for us, our border is only an hour away from our home, so an extra 20 minutes, half an hour going through border is not going to kill us. Just be patient, answer the questions, and if you're not hiding anything, you have nothing to worry about. We've been coming down for 15 years, actually longer, because we were testing out where we wanted to retire. But we've been coming down for, say, 20 years. Never had a problem at the border. Number 6, wildlife. You got to be really aware of wildlife on the roads. Now, the worst times are at sunrise and sunset, dusk and dawn, or dawn and dusk, whichever way you want to do it. That's when the animals are out and crossing roads. You have to be aware of that. And for people like myself, older generation, we like to get on the road early in the morning so you get a good jump on the day. So if by the end of the day you're a little tired, you have time to pull over and find a place to stay. Be wary at dusk and dawn for animals, especially deer. They're crossing the roads. Not so good if you hit one of those. And number 7, the final one. Always, 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 and this maybe should have been number 1. Always, always, always make sure your vehicle is in top running order. Have the oil changed before you go. Have a mechanic look at that squeak that you've been hearing, because you're putting in a lot of miles now. From southern United States to Canada, you're putting a lot of miles in. Make sure that car is as tuned as it can be before you hit the road. It's just one of those things that should be done on a regular basis, even if you're not traveling halfway across the United States. Your car is your most valuable resource to freedom, I think, other than money. Of course, you can buy a chauffeur if you've got enough, but a car is what gives you the freedom. So make sure your car, whether you're at home or traveling across the United States, is all set and ready to go. Well, that's it. That's the top 7 things you need to know when you're traveling while you're driving back to Canada for snowbirds. That makes sense, that last statement? I think it did. Well, that's it. That's the top 7 snowbird knowledge. Cut, start over. Hello and welcome to My Retired Life. Well, it's come to the end of winter down here. Cut, start over. And on to number 1. On to number 1. The next one, number 6, is wait for the vehicle with the engine going by that's just driving around looking like they're killing time. The maintenance people, blah, 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 blah. They're ruining my day. No, they're not. And with that, we'll call this one done.